Hello guys, welcome back to our second channel. So if you've been watching the main channel, you will know that I'm not very well, hence being at home here guys. I'm sorry I haven't done a video on this channel for a minute or two, but yeah, go back and watch my other videos on the main channel, Barham Engines, if you want to know what's the matter with me. I shan't delve into it too much. But yeah, just at home here, relaxing guys, not been too well. So went into work this morning, did a bit of paperwork, moping around the house, resting really, which is quite difficult for me. I do like to be busy, as you all know. But yeah, two things really I'm doing this video on today. Firstly, the Lamborghini. So, where are we with the Lambo? Obviously, the service is due next month, October. Now, if you looked on one of my previous videos, the one to do with what Lamborghini have sent me, I cheekily asked them, what would you do me a basic service for? Told them the situation with the car, etc. Told them it's not worth spending £4,500 or whatever ridiculous price they come up with. They come back saying that they would do it for, I think it was like 1,700 quid, including the VAT. And that includes picking the car up and delivering it back. So, been in touch with RE Performance, Ricky there that owns it. Ricky is a V10 specialist, obviously knows the V10 Lambos and the R8s like the back of his hand. Got a lot of good recommendations for Ricky. Obviously, when I put it in one of my last videos about the Lambo dealer, loads of people on there said, look, I would prefer it if I was buying the car off you and it had a history from Ricky rather than the Lamborghini main dealer. You know, we all know that an independent specialist, a good one, are they better than the main dealers? You know, a lot of people believe that they are. Yeah, he definitely knows his stuff. I've watched Ricky's YouTube channel. You know, I know that he knows his stuff, and I'd be more than happy for the car to go to him. So what I've done is asked Ricky for an updated estimate on servicing my car and MOT in it, which doesn't include the collection and delivery back, because of course he's up in Swindon, whereas we're down in Devon, so he's a good 100-odd mile away from us. So he's got back to me, including the VAT, it's going to be about 830 quid. A friend of mine, obviously I'm not going to drive the car up because that's going to plonk miles on it, as sad as that sounds. So I've got a friend of mine who does professional collection delivery with a brand new covered trailer, etc. All insured, which has got to be. You can't just get any old Tom, Dick and Harry to take it up on the back of their trailer. He will do it each way. He'll do it for 250 quid for me, which is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, Ben will do it for 250 quid each way. Obviously, if it was going to be done in a day, which Ricky said the service could be, then it's going to cost me just under 1,100 quid all in. Obviously, I'll probably have to chuck Ben a few more quid to sort of stay up there for the day. But the problem is the MOT, because Ricky doesn't do the MOTs in-house. So he says it's going to be a couple of days. So what I'm more than likely going to have to do is to get Ben to go back up there to pick the car up. So that's another 250 quid. So what are we looking at there? We are looking at 1,350 quid, something like that, as opposed to about 1,700. Is it worth the extra 300 odd quid? 300 or 400 quid for the Lamborghini stamp, guys? You know, you got to bear in mind how long am I going to keep this car. If it's 300-400 quid a year extra, you know, you keep the cars for another 10 years, that's £4,000, isn't it? Is it going to add £4,000 more onto the value? I shouldn't think so. And to be honest with you, I've sort of, although the stamp's sort of worth it and tempting, I'd much prefer it to go to Ricky, I think. So I think I'm going to book it in with him. We're going to get it there and get the thing serviced by an independent. I would actually quite like to go up and see Ricky. I've been chatting to him about an exhaust. Now, I know I'm at that age where is it a midlife crisis, but it's just that I watch videos and they sound pretty meaty with a nice exhaust. And I said to you last year, I've been speaking to a company called Larini Exhausts, and Larini will sponsor me if we do a little bit of a collab or something with Ricky. They'll sponsor me on doing me an exhaust for really, really cheap, for bearing in mind what they cost normally. I mean, they're about £5,000 for a, you know, for a valved system. Is it worth it, guys? Don't know what Ricky's going to charge to fit that, but I'm sure we could work something out. But yeah, so I think that's my decision. Let me know down in the comments what you think about that decision, guys. I'm not going to book it in until I've read all your messages, see what you think, but I think that's the way I'd like to go, really. Right, secondly, guys, we'll go back to the E30 here. Now, Mikey Dove is away this week, so nothing's going to be done to the car this week. But as I explained in the previous update, he's at the stage now where he's fitting the rear over fenders. He's got, I think he's dummied up the inner outer arch compared to the over fenders. We've had a chat with Mikey. Now we're going to be popping over there when he's back, probably, hopefully next week. And I'm going to be sort of casting my eye over it, go over it with him just to sort of, we've come to the conclusion as to why the fitment on the rear quarters weren't as he thought. So we think we've solved that. The front wings, not too bad. I think there's a bit of fettling to do there because obviously they're fiberglass. We've got the original bonnet, which is good because we can line everything up to the original bonnet. So that's all not looking too bad. We need to have a chat about how we're going to fix the bumpers, because what I'd quite like to do is have them probably the push button quick release so we can take the bumpers off fairly quickly. Mikey seems to come up with an idea. He said that he's come up with an idea of fixing the side skirts on, because obviously the fiberglass side skirts have not got the mouldings for the clips like the original, so a bit of a ball ache. But yeah, we're getting there, guys. So the next step, which we've had them on order for, believe it or not, I think about 7-8 weeks or something like that, and I thought they were never going to turn up. The next step is obviously to get the rear C-pillar kit sort of dummied up. But to determine that, you need to know where the boot's going to be. So obviously the first thing we were going to do with the boot was we were going to have it quick release. So we were going to have the push buttons, just pop it on so we could take it off. Then our plans changed on the fuel filler. So obviously I've gone for the Nuke Performance fuel cell, which goes into the boot, and the fuel tank, you know, the nice round one, sits in the spare wheel well. I was going to have the fuel filler coming out the rear like the original Group A cars next to the number plate. Not going to do that. The reason is because, one, the accessibility to fill it up, a bit awkward there. So what I'm going to do is I bought the Nuke filler kit. Real smart looking filler cap, but unfortunately they don't do a locking one. But what I'm going to do is they do a plate, and we're going to sort of angle it up. So when you open the boot, the filler cap is there, so we can just literally fill it up. All you got to do is open the boot. Obviously, it would be a ball ache if we got the on and off boot to do that. So we need boot hinges. Now, as you may know, the boot hinges on the E30 M3 are different to all the E30 ones because of the C-pillar kit, which is extended out to the back. The boot is further back, therefore the hinges are different. Getting originals, nightmare and big cash. Unfortunately, I managed to get hold of a guy throughout this project. I managed to get hold of a guy called Spencer Latham. Now, I got hold of Spencer quite difficultly actually, but through watching his YouTube videos called Latham Restorations. Now, Spencer is a specialist in E30s and converting them to M3s. He does these recreations from the E30 chassis to the M3, you know, recreations. He's an absolute wizard, knows everything, and he's been a massive help to me throughout this project. So I got hold of Spencer, and he's managed to make me these. Now, as boring as they look, these are basically, in any second now, we're going to be waiting for these. So these are the boot hinges for the E30 M3. He's had them made, so obviously whoever's made them, Spencer's had the jig made and what have you. So these are an exact replica, not actually visibly to look at probably, but as far as all the spacings go. So basically you've got the hook here for the spring, I would assume, to make the thing stay up. Obviously you've got the hinge here, and then you've got where it mounts to the boot lid. So obviously we've got a fiberglass boot lid, which is fine, no problem at all, nice and light really. But the reason these are different is because the C-pillar kit comes out, they mount where the original E30 ones were, but obviously this needs to basically clear the C-pillar kit and the extended parcel shelf. So if you can imagine, when the boot opens, that parcel shelf needs to be missed. And if with the original, I would think like the original E30 ones would be sort of like that really, which would just hit foul, and obviously they'd be too far in. So yeah, we need these to get these on, get that boot mounted, because it overhangs the boot, overhangs the rear wings. So once that's on, we will know then where to put the C-pillar kit on, get our spacings right so we can bond that on, get the rear window in, and away we go, guys. So yeah, been on to Spencer. Unfortunately, he hasn't been very well either. So yeah, they were a bit behind schedule with these, but now we've got them. So thank you very much, Spencer. Magic, we can get on with that. But this whole project, guys, as I say, big thanks to Spencer, because he's helped us massively with some stuff that we've been scratching our heads with, parts, etc. He does no longer do the fiberglass stuff, but he does carbon fiber stuff. But obviously it's big money in it. At least with the fiberglass stuff, our theory was, because it's going to be predominantly a track car, if we ding it, we can just patch up fiberglass, can't we? Repair it, you know. That's the theory anyway. And it's nice and light, although it's not quite as good a fitment as the carbon fiber. It's obviously a lot cheaper. You're probably talking about 5,000 or 6,000 quid cheaper for a body kit. But yeah, if needs must, we'll put carbon fiber bits on in the future, but let's just get the thing up and running and see how it all fits and works, and, you know, and go from there really. But yeah, massive help getting those things, guys, because we're going to be waiting for those in a minute and be a bit stuck. We need to get this project rolling a bit quicker now, because obviously the end of the year is going to come around before we know it, and I need to get everything lined up to get this thing completed for the beginning of spring. So the next thing we're going to be waiting for is the AIM dash, etc. Now I've got Auto Dynamics, I've ordered that AIM stuff for me. Unfortunately, I've been in touch with AIM direct, and so has James from Auto Dynamics, and they're behind schedule. So we ordered that stuff back in, I think, about May, and it still isn't here. So they said, get back to us. I emailed them yesterday, said, get back to us on the 26th of this month, and they will know for sure when they're going to get it. But yeah, so I've predominantly sort of booked in with James to get the chassis loom, etc. all done, providing we got that dash for the start of next year, basically planning on getting it finished. That's going to be one of the last things. So James has sort of promised me that we can work with that. So yeah, fingers crossed, guys, we're all on target here. Next step would be, as soon as Mikey's finished in the next few weeks, get the wheels ordered, and they'll be here in 10 weeks. So that's all the big bits done. But thanks for watching, guys. Until another video on this second channel, take it easy, and yeah, we'll see you then. Cheers, guys.